Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and as you can see, I've got the tie-on, we've got the top hollow music playing in the background here, and you all know what that means. It is time for some more Pokemon Sleep News. Now, this comes to us in the form of traditional Pokemon Sleep News on the news page. You can open up the app and see it right there. You'll get a little notification arrow, because it is giving us some information about the Raikou, Entei, and Suicune research event that the Triple Type Week is building for. So now we know how water, fire, and electric types are going to help us during this event. Now, unfortunately, the event is only 2 weeks long. There were some theories that maybe it'd be like 3 mini-events, one for Raikou, one for Entei, one for Suicune, for our first 3-week-long event. But it looks like instead they're just doing it. All 3 legends are sharing 2 weeks of the event. So, how is this working? Well, it's basically working very similarly to the other events that we've had for the legendaries. If those of you that were around during Cresselia vs. Darkrai, those of you that were around during the first legendary run-through events, you know that they gave us a fixed berry type of the main berry, of whatever the boost was, and then random berries for the other 2. Now, the way that this is different is we actually know all 3 berries that are going to be randomized, and this is going to be the case during all areas that are applicable during the event. Now, notably, the event is not at Lapis and is not at Snowdrop, so if you're hoping to do well with that, unfortunately you can't really choose either of those islands. The event just doesn't reach there. So if you want to opt out of the event for some reason, that's the way you can go about it. But it's going to be not random berries, it's going to be fixed fire, water, electric. And then as for other boosts, final strength gains by dishes are multiplied by 1.1. I think this is very interesting. This is the weakest modifier we've seen to dishes overall for an event. I wonder if the devs kind of realized that dish modification is one of the most powerful modifiers in the game, since you can prep dishes in advance. So I wonder if that's why they made only 10%. But as far as I can remember, they didn't really have any dish modifiers for the other legendary events. So I might be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we had any dish modifiers for the other legendary events. So to have that is intriguing, but it's only 10%, so it's not a huge modifier, not a huge buff to cooking, but it is there. And any modifier to dishes is honestly kind of huge. They're also multiplying main skill chance by 25%. Well, 1.25%, or 1.25 total for a 25% bonus. They're also giving us an event exchange. Now, I assume this is going to work very similarly to what we've had in past legendary events. You can see some of the items listed down below. We know that there's the incense for the 3 of them. Premier biscuits, which, if you read down here, are just what Raikou, Suicune, and Entei biscuits were, and Cresselia biscuits during their events. They give 6 value, but only to the event Pokemon. So you're going to kind of have to pick which one you want to target the most, because you're only going to be able to use the exchange to buy the incense of your choosing, and then you're only going to have so many Premier biscuits to give to the Pokemon of your choosing. So it's going to be best to try and really focus on one. If you're new, if you're experienced, if you're a veteran player, and if you're a new player, it's going to be best to focus on one, because especially if you're new, getting one of each doesn't really help you that much, because the first one, as you can see down here, they are fixed stats. You will be guaranteed to get the bog standard starter one that everyone gets. It's got a neutral nature, it's got sleep XP bonus, inventory up L, skill level up S, I think. So, a little bit of inventory, a little bit of skill level up. It's not terrible, but it's not really great or meta in any way either. But if you focus on one specifically, you can really actually hammer out getting those re-rolls on the sub-skills. So it's going to be best, it seems like it's going to be best to do it that way. So, pick one that you want to target. I'd say assess your box, which one would benefit your team the most, and then maybe go for that one. Now, as for how this is kind of working, one thing that's insane, main skill levels are boosted by 3 during week 1, and boosted by 5 during week 2. So skills are going to be really impactful this week. You're not even going to have to put skill seeds into most things. If you just catch a Dedenne, it's going to be good during this week. No matter what its stats really are, because it's boosted by 25%. You don't even have to put a single main skill seed into it, and it's already going to be operating at main skill level 6. So just having a Dedenne on hand for Tasty Chance, which is going to be extra potent because of the meal boost, is going to be very powerful with this. you can just catch a Pawmi and evolve it to Pawmo. Now, granted, it's not as good as Pawmot, and getting a Pawmot is going to be very difficult because it takes 150 sleep hours. But it's going to be alright during this because of the skill boost, as well as it's going to have a max main skill level. This is going to be like the easiest thing for brand new players during week 2, because boosted by 5 main skill levels is just absurd. Get an Ampharos to level, get an Ampharos just up there, and it'll work at a main skill level 7. It's going to be the strongest thing you have in the box, if you haven't had the main skill seeds to invest anything else. So matching type is going to be really interestingly good here with that boost to skill trigger rate, and then levels boosted by 5. In fact, you're going to be able to actually consider the main skill levels on your berry specialist. I was just doing some rough calculations here in a team that I was throwing together. Now, if we just get rid of all cooking boosts from here, this was a team that I quickly threw together. I intended to do a live stream after recording this video doing team building, but in one of the teams that I was hypothesizing, I was like, well, is it worth it to sneaky snack any of these guys? And if I was to... with this Typhlosion, 173 with the skill triggers activating, if I make him always full, it's 154. Significantly weaker. Their skills are going to be pulling in a significant portion of their strength contributed. And this is a level 60 Typhlosion, when it should be doing pretty actually alright with sneaky snacking because of higher levels. But it's significantly better with that skill boost. So probably don't sneaky snack your berry specialist, even if they match berry. Granted, this is also an expert mode with plus ingredients, so maybe that's another factor. But just a brief explanation there that sneaky snacking not necessarily optimal during this event, even on the berry specialist, because it's going to be boosted by an insane amount. Now, boosted by 3 first week is also pretty significant. This isn't going to max the main skill level of almost every skill in the game, but with this sort of boost and a 1.25 times multiplier, you can even sort of consider like temp investing a Slow King. If you're collecting the app quite a bit, if you have a decent Slowpoke, it can actually pretty reliably do healing, especially if you have a Suicune to pair it with. Then having that extra synergy with the Suicune might actually serve you better than having a more traditional healer like a Pawmot or a Gardevoir if that's all you have. So consider that. But something else that's very, very interesting about this, they're even fixing the berries in expert mode. Now, one of the most difficult things about expert mode is the fact that you can't really plan for it. Because it's currently, as of right now, it's only at green grass. That means completely random berries. You have no clue what the bonuses are going to be. But this time around, we now know we're going to get Leppa, Orin, and Greppa berries for the favorite berries. One of them will be picked randomly to be the primary. So you don't necessarily know that. You don't know what the other boost is going to be if you get the skill boost, ingredient boost, or berry boost. Now, I'm pretty certain, now this one could be wrong as well, because I haven't seen any data out there to disprove it yet. But I'm pretty certain, because there is a skill boost here, there probably won't be a possible skill boost here, because I don't think anyone, at least nobody that I saw, had the skill boost during Super Skills Week, and I believe that is because they don't want overlapping and stacking expert bonus with the event bonus. They're going to try to typically make it different. That could be wrong, though. But given that this is the only one that overlaps with the boosts that we see in expert mode, we don't have like a +1 ingredient. We don't have berry strength being multiplied. I think that means they're going to rule out potential expert mode skill boost so that these don't stack with each other. Now, so that means you've got 6 different outcomes. 3 outcomes for favorite berry, fire, water, electric with the berry boost, and 3 outcomes for fire, water, electric with the ingredient boost for being the main favorite berry versus what boost you get. If the skill boost is still possible, then you have 3 more with each one of them being the primary and the skill boost. So that'd be 9 different possibilities overall, which is way more than what is normally possible at green grass expert mode. Now, as far as greater appearance rates, They're having a greater appearance rate for Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, which is very significant. It's very rare that we have any sort of legendaries boosted, but that's to be expected with it being their event. You can see that across the islands, various Pokemon are boosted. If you want to target a specific one, you can go to their island. Like, if I want to target Raikou specifically, then theoretically going to the Old Gold Power Plant is going to be my best odds of seeing it, just because it is the only legendary that's there. Now, I've never seen 2 legends spawn in the same night unless you count Darkrai being a mythical. Then some people had Darkrai and Cresselia. But other than Darkrai, I've never seen 2 legends spawn in the same night. So if you want to target one, if you want to target Entei, it's probably best to go to Top Hollow. If you want to target Suicune, it's probably best to go to Cyan Beach. If you want to target Raikou, it's probably best to go to the Old Gold Power Plant. If you're fine with getting any 3 of them and you want to build Expert bonus, then Greengrass Isle Expert and Greengrass Isle Basic, if you're not really far along in the game, are both decent options. And generally speaking, it's best to try and get Pokemon of the type, which means you want to see a large pool of potential Pokemon to spawn. Although Greengrass and Greengrass Expert have really large pools to begin with, so even though there are more potential spawns here, they're probably going to yield you less event rewards in general. That may not be the case, and as they data mine more information, I'm sure Rerun X will have the tools to properly evaluate that, which ones are going to get the most event rewards. So, if you want to learn more about that, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. Because I always, before a major event, will do a strategy guide. And I will have a lot more to say about this as we get more information. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Down in the description, we'll have a link to join the Discord. You can come join us, hang out, talk about all things Pokemon, Sleep, and the like. A huge thank you to all my channel members. It really means a lot to me. You guys want to show your support financially, despite there being no paid rewards for members. If you too want to become a channel member, the join button is down below. And as always, I thank you all for watching and hope that you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye now.